Is purchasing a used Model X worth it today? This is a raw and honest review after about 12 months of buying a used Model X. I don't usually make car review videos, but I believe in producing any type of content that add value into your life. Since EV vehicles are becoming more and more popular, I understand a lot of you guys may be interested or may want to learn more about it, but don't understand so much. Or some people may have made the wrong decision, whether they paid too much or they are very frustrated with the EV because they don't know how it works, or they don't have access to a charging on a regular basis and they're very frustrated. I'm going to start with my journey of owning an EV vehicle. Well, first I had purchased a hybrid vehicle in 2014. As cliche as it sounds, I honestly really care about making a difference in our environment and lowering our carbon footprint. In 2021, I purchased my first full EV Tesla 2021 Model Y. Actually, that vehicle was a 3-year lease. I did not want to return it, but they made me return it. But one of the things I didn't like was the build qualities. I did not like that at all. And I felt like at the time I have overpaid because they had just came out with that kind of vehicle. I wanted to really keep that vehicle as long as I can. 3 years kind of went by kind of fast, and I asked Tesla, please, 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 so many times, like, please just let me keep this vehicle. But they had a strict rule that they were following by, and they was like, nope, lease vehicles, you have to return them no matter what. So I was kind of upset. I had to plan on what vehicle that I was going to drive next, as my lease term was expiring. As I was looking, I had test drove many vehicles, including new and used. I've test drove the Model X, some new, some used, and the newer Model Y, and I've seen a lot of other vehicles, but one that caught my eye the most was this used 2017 Model X, which I had chosen to purchase. I didn't want to drop too much money. Me personally, I don't believe in spending anything more than like $40,000 on the vehicle. I don't care what kind of car it is. Don't get me wrong, I love cars, I love fast cars, I love fun cars, but you have to be responsible. I don't think you should ever, under no circumstance, spend more than about 30% of your annual income pay. And especially EVs, the values goes down so much. The way it depreciates, like you could buy an EV for about 50 grand, and less than 2 years later, that same vehicle is worth less than 30 grand, which is crazy. It does not make sense. It's one of the lessons that I learned from my Model Y is never ever purchase brand new. Even though the one I got, when I purchased it, it was from the inventory. It was a showroom car that the dealership or the Tesla store used for test driving. So the car already had some miles on it, so I was able to save probably about 5,000 or 6,000. I would never ever consider buying a brand new vehicle, especially an EV vehicle, just because of the fact that the value goes down very fast. So when I test drove this 2017 Model X, I know some people are like, wow, why would you even consider buying a vehicle that's over 7, 8, 9 years old? Because most of the warranty already expired. So now anything goes wrong, you're gonna have to come out of pocket. When I purchased my 2017 Model X last year, around May, I noticed a couple of different things that had to be done, including my brakes, and I noticed some noise in different parts of the vehicle, which was kind of annoying. I didn't really enjoy much. I'm gonna attach the bill that I got. The bill should have been about 10,000, but I was constantly negotiating, and then my service advisor Kit, she was so nice. She was constantly going back and forth with the manager, and they were able to really honestly hook me up. I spent almost 4,000. I changed all of my brakes pads and rotors and stuff like that, and got rid of the noise, and there was some also noise in the back. They really took care of me. So I certainly recommend buying used, but you got to remember, when you buy used, you are running at your own risk that if something goes down, then you got to be responsible of that. So one of the things that I also did on my Model X, I changed the wheels. So I put the newer 2022's wheels, size 20s, because the older one looks pretty boring and it looked pretty bad. So now let's go over the pros. The pros about buying a used Model X: love the automatic door opening. As you approach the vehicle, when you have your key fob, the doors automatically open by itself. Newer Teslas, including the Model Ys and 3s, I don't like the way those doors open. I like an actual handle where, God forbid, if the battery was to completely run out, I can still get out of the vehicle. I like technology, but I don't like too much. Air suspension, you could adjust it to whatever height you like. I like the gear shifters, you know, if I'm driving or reversing, I like the ability to just, you know, old school shifting instead of using the actual screen like the newer vehicles. Car wash, the newer vehicles, I realized that Tesla Model X that are 2022 or newer, when you go to a car wash, you actually gotta go to car wash mode, which is kind of aggravating. I much prefer just going on neutral. The other pro is the car is not too expensive. These cars, when they first came out, run you somewhere around 140 grand. Now you should be able to get a brand new one for somewhere around 95-ish range after tax and all that, depending on where you live. I recommend between 2019 to like 2021. The Autopilot is really good. The tires is good, no problem. As long as you have size 20s, I wouldn't want to go with anything more than 20s. 21 I don't like when I had my Model Y. 2022 definitely don't recommend that because you're using low profile tires and it don't handle roads very well and it's not as quiet. Prior to purchasing this vehicle, I've done so much research. I've seen some people who had over 400,000 miles and the vehicle was running just fine, as long as you do the very basic things and stay consistent on that, which is number one, don't charge the vehicle over 80% on a regular basis unless if you're just traveling long distance. And don't use super fast charging. I usually use level 1 or number 2 charging, and I don't usually pay for it. And if you guys want me to share some information about how and where you should be charging your vehicle, not too expensive and for free for the most part, I can share that as well. I believe there are very few cons about this vehicle. If you don't care so much about newer and updated technology, this vehicle is the right vehicle for you. Another con is soon you will be out of warranty, and if anything goes wrong, you're going to be responsible for that. Like I said, there's usually not much to do. Of course, it is more peaceful to have a brand new vehicle and the vehicle is still covered under manufacturer warranty. Another small con, which I don't think is a big deal, is with these older Model X, you cannot use just your phone to drive. You have to use the actual key fob, and you cannot use the card to drive as well. My friends, I really appreciate you guys. If you made it up to this point in this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment what you think about this video. Absolutely make sure you subscribe, and if you're considering buying a vehicle from Tesla and you want $1,000 off, I will share my link with you guys and it will definitely be helpful. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.